Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday. Welcome into Mornings with Marcel and Friends on this Tuesday morning, July the 21st. Before I have to begin for you this time around, I have a little eye itch going on here on the left side of the eye. I know it's going to be a little bit itchy, but I will try to clear the itches off. But as you can see, this is going to be very clear to keep away from itching side of my body and all things eyes. Also, I have to wear glasses, but I break it and then I screech it, but I try to keep my lens safe, but no glasses for me. So without further delay, let's get on to the show. I hope you like this. Thank you so much for your well-deserved company. I give you all the news, all the verse of the day, plus the latest on stock markets and beyond in the next 30 minutes just ahead. And if you're new of this show, make sure you subscribe to my channel on YouTube. And now, for the first time ever, right here on StreamYard. Yes. To create your show or even anything you want to say about the event, you may go to StreamYard.com to sign things up. It's really a pleasure to be here. All right, let's get on to the news, shall we? And as we do this today and every weekday or every Tuesday, I give you all the news you need to know. The getting up to speed and on with your day. Try to get this thing here. All right, let's go with the pace. Today, NASA is building a telescope to help find life beyond Earth. Engineers are aiming to launch the advanced technology by late 2026, potentially allowing humankind to peer deep into unexplored areas of the cosmos and everything you want to ask for. So now, here it is. The 5 things to getting you up to speed and on with your day after all things coffee, showering, and everything at breakfast. Starting with air quality, shall we? And of course, you know why because of this. Smoke from more than 1,000 fires burning across Canada. That's right, burning across Canada is noticeably drifting into the U.S. again. The pollution from the smoke is threatening residents' health in several cities, including Chicago, the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Detroit, which are now ranked in the top 20 most polluted cities in the world, according to global pollution tracker IQAir. And a blanket of hazing skies follows a belt of Canadian wildfire smoke that stretched across the U.S. last week, triggering air quality alerts for more than a dozen states from Montana to Vermont, with some smoke reaching as far as south in Alabama, or even far south as Alabama. The U.S. will likely continue to see the downwind effects of Canada's prolonged wildfires as the country continues to experience its worst fire season on record. The Justice Department is suing the state of Texas as Governor Greg Abbott refuses to remove floating barriers his administration constructed in the Rio Grande. He has argued the barriers are intended to deter migrants from crossing into Texas from Mexico, but his measures have disrupted U.S. Border Patrol operations and put migrants at risk of drowning. In a lawsuit, the DOJ, otherwise known as the Department of Justice, specifically alleges that Texas and Abbott, a Republican, violated the Rivers and Harbors Appropriation Act, by building a structure in U.S. water without permission from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. However, he is pushing back, defying, saying in an interview yesterday on Fox News that he plans to take this lawsuit all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, President Biden will establish a national monument today honoring Emmett Till, the black teenager who was murdered in 1955, helped galvanize the civil rights movement. The monument will be centered in the state of Illinois and Mississippi, two of them, states where Till was from and killed, respectively. The signation will come amid a national debate over how to teach painful facts about American history in public schools and high schools, colleges as well. Some Republican led states have enacted new standards that critics say sanitize history, including the realities of slavery and a racist violence. He will officially name the monument at the White House later on, which would have been Till's 82nd birthday. American taxpayers no longer have to fear the IRS showing up unannounced at their door. The IRS is ending a decades-old practice of having revenue officers with visiting households and businesses to help them resolve their account balances by collecting unpaid taxes and unfilled tax returns. Yesterday, the agency said it is making the change due to growing safety concerns for both employees who are increasingly dealing with hostile taxpayers and Americans who are contending with an increase of scam artists posing in IRS agents. Typically, tens of thousands of unannounced visits take place each year. Under the new policy, less than a few hundred visits are expected to occur in special circumstances involving the seizure of assets for assistance. And last but not least, yesterday in Israel, the country's parliament passed a law stripping the Supreme Court of its power to block government decisions, despite 6 months of protests over the controversial plan. The bill passed by a vote of 64-0 in the Knesset after opposition lawmakers walked out of the chamber as the vote was taking place. Analysts are calling the measure the most significant shakeup to the court system since the country's founding. Videos show Israeli police firing water cannons at anti-government protesters as they form human chains. And meanwhile, the White House called the vote unfortunate, emphasizing it will continue to support the efforts of President Herzog and other Israeli leaders as they seek to build a broader consensus through political dialogue. And now, with your pleasure of the breakfast browse, moviegoers have spotted a blooper of Oppenheimer. Trader Joe's recalls 2 types of cookies that may contain rocks. Born Casey Phil becomes youngest player in World Cup history. The BBC apologizes for reporters' inappropriate question at World Cup. And the rise of gig workers is changing the face of the economy. We'll have today's quote and the first of the day coming up, but today's number is 50. That's approximately how many people here in our country will see temps top 100 degrees this week. Forecast show this comes as doctors across the country, yes, Americans across the nation, are dealing with an uptick in heat-related illnesses, such as heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Even for my mouth stroke back in 2013 when my pops having it as always. Oh my gosh. I hope he is okay at the nursing home for now. And temps are particularly dangerous in Arizona, where doctors have reported a spike of patients that have been burned just by failing on the ground. Now, with today's quote to wrap things up in the 5 things, State Department spokesperson Matt Miller saying yesterday that North Korea has remained silent on the American soldier that crossed into North Korea last week. Court documents show that PVT Travis King, believed to be the first soldier to cross into North since 1982, had a history of assault, was facing disciplinary action, and was meant to go back to the U.S. the day before the incident. His motive for crossing the demarcation line is still a mystery. I'm not aware of any new communications. Let's change back to StreamYard. And that will be it, ladies and gentlemen, for Tuesday's installment of the 5 Things. Back Tuesday for more, or should I say next Tuesday. Matter of fact, too. All right, change gears, 19 past the hour. Time for your verse of the day. Yes, it is. Amen indeed. Thank you, Phil Ware, for the verse of the day. Once again, I will read it to you as always. Comes to us from Titus 2:2. Teach the older man or woman, or even my girl Victoria says, to everybody to be temperate, worthy of respect, self controlled, sound in faith, in love, and definitely endurance. How you like that, huh? All right. Be on the lookout for the Dow Watch after 11 straight weeks. Or should I say the winning streak may continue to may come alive, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes, this is true. I go to say I really love this. Things are definitely A-OK for the futures, and quite possibly it could be a change. And I promise you, this is going to be good. So right now, according to the Google Finance, Dow futures is down 26 this morning. But if we'll have the Dow's 12th winning streak will take place before the Fed meeting, it will be stay higher for sure. Looking for 12. That's right, people. Looking for 12. Looking for 12. That's right. Looking for 12. Should I get back to Reuters, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, there it is. Wait a minute. All right. This is from Reuters, ladies and gentlemen. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ were set for a slightly higher after multiple companies forecast upbeat annual profits, where investors also awaited quarterly earnings reports from mega-cap technology companies. Results from Google owner Alphabet and Microsoft are due after the bell. Their shares rose 4% and 9% respectively in pre-market trading. Also, tech giants are expected to signal an end to a nearly year-long slowdown in their cloud businesses as signs of economic resilience encourage clients to boost technology spending, while a pickup in digital ads will also aid their profits. Now, let's get to this. The tech-heavy NASDAQ Composite Index has rallied 34.3% this year, helped by outsized gains in rate-sensitive mega-cap growth companies on optimism over artificial intelligence, or AI, and hopes of an end to the Fed Reserve's tightening cycle. With the central bank on track for another 25 basis point interest rate hike tomorrow, policymakers face a choice over how much weight to put on recent economic data. So at 8:32 a.m. Eastern, 5:32 Pacific, 1:32 GMT, E- were down 9 this morning, or 3%, but the NASDAQ E-100 futures up 42.75 points, or 27%, and the S&P 500 E- were up 1.75 points, or 4%. All three indexes kicking off the business earnings and data-heavy week higher in the previous section. Once again, Dow Watch looking for 12 winning streak, looking for 12. With a jump in oil major Chevron helped the Dow log its longest winning streak in over 6 years. GE climbed 3.8% after raising its annual adjusted profit forecast, betting on steady demand for aircraft engine spare parts and services from airlines looking to cash in on surging air travel. And Verizon rose 2.4% after the company posted a surprise rise in wireless subscriber additions as more users upgraded their mobile phones and plan to access its 5G network. Biogen climbed 1.5% after a drug maker announced layoffs under a fresh cost-cutting program, while also posted strong earnings for the first quarter. And listed shares of Chinese companies such as Alibaba and Bilibili added 1.6 and 3.2% respectively, as investors cheered pledge of support in a readout for a Politburo meeting in China. Lastly, 3M rose 2.7% after the industrial colomentary raise its annual adjusted in profit forecast. So be on the lookout for Dow Watch, ladies and gentlemen, looking for the 12th winning streak, and could be the winning streak will take place in 6 years. That's 12th place, and I guarantee it. All right. I have the word of the day coming up, but first things first, to wrap things up of this live stream by StreamYard. Say hello, ladies and gentlemen, to my home, just like Victoria's and everyone else does. This is my personal, and I mean guaranteed, personal StreamYard Studios, just like YouTube. This here is my background of the Brooklyn Bridge, which includes the sunrise to start each morning, as always. We have the countdown and have the video, as always, too. The bubbles dark. It's going to be an awesome. We got the background music as well, too. We also had to say this, ladies and gentlemen. Banners, comments, and of course, even the private chat. Wow. Believe it or not, the private chat. I will also to hold on a second, please, to wrap things up. All right, here it goes. Ticker on. There it go. Yes, say hello to my StreamYard, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to love it, and I promise you, it's going to be amazing. This is how we feel to start the day, every Tuesday. All right, to wrap up the show, I have one word of the day will taking place for you every Tuesday. So pay close attention to today's word is null. This is from Merriam-Webster.com. And you know why? It's a technical term in the law, is a commonly used in the phrase null and void to describe something that has no legal or binding force. Null also has several serial-related meanings, including amounting up to nothing, having no value or no elements, having zero as a limit, and of being or related to zero. N-U-L-L. Guess the word it is, right? It's null. Null. N-U-L-L. Spell that. Write it down. I promise you. Is definitely null. All right, the opening bell is set to take place. Be on the lookout for the Dow's amazing, and I mean really amazing, 12th day winning streak, and there will be more streaks to go. Right now, Dow is up at 10 this morning at 35,421. NASDAQ up 26 at 1458. NAS and S&P 500 is down. Look at this. Dow is down right now. The NASDAQ is up. S&P 500 up is down as well. Both Dow and S&P are down right now, but the NASDAQ is definitely up. Happy Tuesday, folks. It is 9:30 here in the East, 6:30 out west. Thank you for joining me for my first Mornings with Marcel and Friends. Is live on YouTube and StreamYard. You have yourself a great day, and I will see you right back here next Tuesday morning.